Hi friends, welcome to my channel Krish or JG Agra. So in the sequence of Boolean expressions and logical expressions in Python, we discussed different combinations of these logical operators and Boolean expressions. And today I am going to discuss some more complex and different expressions or scenarios which you might see or which you might face in your test papers or your teacher may ask. So what are those? Let's discuss. So I'm going to take some more examples, and the first example is this: equal 5 or 7 and not 6. So if you recall, then you'll find not 6, not is having the higher priority as far as or and logical operators are concerned, and that is why we'll have to evaluate not 6 first. So not 6 means 6 is non-zero value, and that is why this is true, and not true is your false. So it will return false. So here you see 5 or 7 and false. So if you look at the expression over here, then we'll see that in this expression 7 and 5 or 7 and false. So if you look at 5 or 7, so we have seen that and is prioritized here, and that is why we'll have to find the false value. The first false value is false, and so out of 7 and false, so it will return false, and that is why you see here 5 or false. This is the statement, or this is the outcome of the previous statement. And over here if you look at 5 or false, then as per the rule, the first true value when combined with the or, the first true value it returns. So first true value is your 5, and that is why, otherwise it will return the last value. So over here 5 is the true value, and it will return 5 here. Now next example. In this example you see 5 and 6 and 0 or 7. So as far as priority of these logical operators is concerned, and is having higher priority over or, so we'll have to evaluate and expression first, or and operator first, and that is why we'll have to see 5 and 6 and 0. So we'll have to find out the first false value, otherwise it will return last value. So 5 and 6 and 0, then first false value is none other than, there is no first value or the false value. 5 is not false value, 6 is not a false value, and 0 of course, because no false value we find, and that is why it will return the last value. So 0 will be the outcome. So see here in this 5 and 6, so first false value is no value, and that is why it returns the last value, that is 0. So this is the outcome of the previous statement. Now we have 0 or 7, and here if you look at these two items, means 0 and 7 are combined using the OR operator, and that is why we'll have to find out the first true value. So you see there is no first true value, and that is why it will return 7. Okay, now next composition, and you will see here in my last video we discussed the expressions were having a similar kind of logical operators like and, or, and combined with not also. But over here, this is the expressions are mixed logical operator expressions. 5 and 6 and 0 or 7. So and is there and or is also there, and here we have to find out or evaluate the expression. So my next example. So here if you look at 5 and 0 or 6, again mixed expression. So logical operators are mixed logical operators. So we are seeing here and, or, and not as well. So all these three logical operators are involved in this expression. So we'll have to first evaluate the not. Not 5. 5 is true value and not 5 is false. Okay, now 5 and 0, 6 and empty list. We'll have to evaluate this. So as far as and is concerned, we'll have to find the first false value in 5 and 0. So there is no false value here, so it will return 0. And when we look at 6 and empty list, so there is no false value. 6 is not the false value, and that is why it will return the last value, that is empty list. So here 0 and empty list are false is the outcome. So 0, empty list, or false is the outcome. Now all the entities are combined with or. So we'll have to find out first true value. As such, there is no true value, and that is why it will return the last value, that is false. Okay, now some more complex examples of these logical operators and Boolean expressions. So see here, the first example I'm going to take is 5 and 8 modulo 4 or xy as a string. So here first we'll have to, as far as priority is concerned, we'll have to evaluate 8 modulo 4. So it will return 0. Okay, so 5 and 0 or xy, and after that we'll have to evaluate 5 and 0, because the priority or the precedence of and is greater than or, and that is why 5 and 0 will be evaluated. So when the expression is combined with the AND operator, then we have to find out the first false value. So 5 is not the false value, and that is why it will return the last value, that is why. So hence 0, therefore 0 is the outcome of 5 and 0. And 0, so the outcome is 0 or xy. So here, since these entities are combined with the OR operator, logical operator OR, and that is why we'll have to find out the first true value. If not, then it will return the last value. So over here, the first value, the true value, is not there, and that is why it will return the last value. So output will be x and y. xy, this is a string. Okay, and now this is a bit more complex than the previous one. 4 equal to 5, 7 less than 9, and 7 modulo 3 or not 9 less than 5 and empty string. So what shall we do? We will first evaluate the relation operators. So 4 equal to 5 is false. So we'll evaluate 4 equals to 5, 7 less than 9, 7 modulo 3 and 9 less than 5, and so these 4 items we'll have to evaluate first. So 4 equals to 5 is false, 7 less than 9 is true, and 7 modulo 3 is 1, or 9 less than 5 is false. So after evaluation of this statement, we get false or true and 1, or not false and empty list. Now if you look at, we'll have to evaluate not first, because it has the highest priority over n and r, and that is why we'll evaluate not false, so this will become true. So see here, false or true and 1, or true and empty list, and since and has higher priority than or operator, logical operator or, and that is why we'll have to evaluate true and 1 and true and empty list. So as far as true and 1 is concerned, we'll have to evaluate this way, that we have to find out the first false value. So if you look at true and 1, there is no false value, that is why it will return the last value, that is 1. And in the second case, true and empty list, there is no false value, and that is why it will also return the last value. So the outcome of this statement would be false or 1 or empty list. Now here false or 1 or empty list, so we'll have to find out the first true value, because it the expression is combined with the or operator, logical operator or, and that is why we have to find out the first true value. So over here the first true value is 1, and that is why the answer or the outcome of this expression will be 1. So this is how we can evaluate these Boolean expressions when logical operators are involved and Boolean expressions are also involved. So how to evaluate? So these 3 videos will help you evaluating the Boolean expressions as well as the logical expressions. So you try more, and if you understood the concept, kindly share it with your friends and other people also. And if you have not subscribed the channel, kindly subscribe it. So we'll meet in the next video, but before that I'll request you to practice more and see the more questions of similar kind in your textbook or reference book. So we'll meet in the next video with some more examples or different topic. Till then, bye bye.